After a hell of a start last week, we now move from the pavement to the dirt. Welcome to Eldora Speedway in Rosburg, Ohio, for the third round of the Truck Championship, Truck Racing Ultimate Championship Series. This is Tony Chapasso up in the booth, joined with me by my partner in crime, the man from the Great White North, the man, the myth, the living legend himself, Mr. Kevin Cuneo, and joining us now in the booth for tonight is going to be Mr. John Leach. John, it's your first time with us with the Truck Series, but you've run with some of these guys before in other leagues. What do you think of Eldora so far?
So Eldora is going to be a new beast to me. I'm not overly familiar. I've watched a bunch of races. I haven't raced on it yet, so I look forward to watching some of these really fast pavement guys to see what they can do. So this is all going to be new to me. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. It's always fun when we can get down and dirty at Eldora. As qualifying underway right now, time's coming in hot and heavy. Phil Locke just finishing his laps, going quick time so far, 19.729 for the 94. Ashton Crowder going third quick in the 78. And yes, improving on his second lap, going 19.513. So new fast time for the 78 of Crowder, as the Fruity Pebbles ride of Ryan Thomas out on track right now, getting the green as he starts his first flyer. And you can tell some of these guys, you can tell the guys that have a little dirt experience and the guys that don't have any dirt experience, because there's a little bit of a gap between some of these guys. Only two guys going sub 19 second in the hot lap session, one of which being your current pole sitter, as Justin Miller thrown away that lap, banging the wall. So this lap not going to count for the 39, as it is his first lap under anger. Bangs the wall coming off a 4. That was a hard hit, and there's a lot of damage on the right side of that number 39 right now of Miller. You got to keep it off the wall, unfortunately, during qualifying. So, some of the times that we're seeing during the hot lap session, he is struggling right now. He is not comfortable on the dirt at all. Joe Mahar went 21.5 for his first lap and throws away his second lap. So that's definitely not something that's going to help him at all. He's just kind of turning laps right now to try to get familiar with this. So 16 drivers have already put up times. We're waiting on Ray Rogers, John Bell, Matt Rogers, and Dan Holzcroft. Those four guys have not put in time. So while we do have a little bit of lonely action, now would be a good time to pop on over to the Teespring store. You can find the link in the video description below and pick up your t-shirts, sweatshirts, throw pillows, face masks. We have coffee mugs with the ESPN logo on them. All high quality, very nice pieces that would look perfect in anybody's racing room. You can also find our brand new line of apparel, the I Love My Wife, and big letters, I love, little letters underneath it, when my, big letters, wife, and then underneath it in little letters, lets me watch ESPN. You can find that link in the video description below. You can also find the link to our Twitter page, our Facebook page, our YouTube page. You can also find the link to our brand new website, which just went online a couple weeks ago, espnofficial.com, where you can get a rundown of all the leagues that we are going to be broadcasting. And there's going to be some big news being broken later this week. Those of you who follow us on our Facebook page might have an idea of what's going on. We are going to release that to the masses on the website within the next couple of days, here, we hope. As Looks like everybody who has taken time is taking time. Ryan Thomas has already put in his qualifying laps, so he's just turning laps, and you can definitely tell the guys that don't have a ton of dirt experience. They're trying to get every lap they possibly can here. Thomas was one of the first ones into the hot lap session, making sure that he has an idea of what this track is going to do because unlike the pavement courses we go on, um, these dirt tracks change from lap to lap, from corner to corner. Um, it's not a steady surface like the pavement side, and that was one of the things that iRacing got right when they did that. Before they released this to the masses, they made sure that they had the way the dirt reacts throughout a race night. They had that down. So, this track is definitely notorious for going dry slick, and we'll be able to see that as the night goes on. It just the dirt changes. The track's going to go dry slick. We'll be able to see that during the broadcast because you'll see parts of the track, especially under the lights here in Roxborough, Ohio, start to take on a shine to them. And when you see that happen, there is no traction, and I cannot emphasize that enough. It's like now, John, you're from Michigan. Kevin, you're from the greater Toronto Metroplex. It would be the same as a nor'easter coming in and dumping sleet all over the track.
Brutal.
That would not be fun at all. That's like coming from Louisiana,
And
moving to
I
Michigan.
will be right back real second, talk amongst yourselves that
Now, where are
this
you
track,
going?
I need to go talk to league management for a moment.
Ah, well, we've got a minute 40 left in the qualifying, but it looks like everybody who is going to take time will take time. You want to run down our top? Well, we could go through the order.
Yeah, I would say we can go through the order. I mean, one thing I'd want to touch on is look at the split in lap difference. You got almost a 2.5 second difference from the pole sitter to the 16th place start. So you're gonna have a lot of different levels of speed on track, which is gonna make this really entertaining.
Absolutely. Yeah, and as we were seeing in qualifying, the difference between those who are comfortable turning laps on dirt and those who aren't will make it, as soon as you get into traffic, a whole different ballgame.
Oh yeah, there might be a lot of I don't want to call it bump and running situations because it's probably gonna be like I didn't mean to bump you and then driving away
Yeah,
situations.
exactly.
What it's looking like.
Yeah, yeah.
But you've got your fast guys. You got Ashton Crowder up top, Phil Locke, Richard Swavely, excuse me. Those guys look really fast. They're going to be fun to watch. But I mean, you can't count out really anybody in the top 10. And I mean, this is kind of I would count this kind of like a super speedway kind of race, as anyone can win because you just don't know what's going to happen. I might be wrong with my inexperience in dirt track racing, but it's not pavement and it's different, and they don't come here often.
Exactly. No, I think your that analogy will hold up in that you know, best laid plans can go wayside once you get into the race.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm hoping to see it start off green, be real exciting, real quick, and hopefully these guys can hang on to it because this is going to be exciting. This is going to be a lot of fun for me.
It has been impressive green flag racing in the last couple of races, but that was on pavement.
On pavement. I mean, there's some really quality drivers in here. Like mentioned earlier, I've raced with a few of these guys, and these guys know how to drive fast, know how to drive clean, and it's going to be exciting to watch. And then as we're talking, that's pavement. Here we are on dirt, so we're going to get to see who has what for the different surface.
Absolutely.
As I just had to have a quick chat with league admins. Things might not work out the way they're hoping. They were unaware that there is no refueling and there is no tire changing on dirt. So we're just going to give a quick rundown of the starting order as they are gridding up right now. Ashton Crowder going quick time with a 19.513. Phil Locke starting outside row number 1. He went 19.729. The only other driver to go sub 20 seconds in qualifying was Rich Swavely. And he's going to be joined in row number 2 with David Moore. Row 3 sees Brad Williams and Zach Taylor. Trevor Massetti and Chris Johnson roll off in row number 4, with row 5 going to Ty Dixon and Ryan Thomas. Brad Lee and Clinton Leatherwood start in row number 6, with row 7 going to Brad Edel and Dylan Hastings. Joe Mahar and Justin Miller are going to see row number 8, with row 9 going to the Rogers boys. That's Ray on the inside, Matt on the outside, John Bell and Dan Holdscroft starting shotgun on the field in row 10. 120 laps of scheduled distance here tonight, and we're not 100% certain if we're going to see all 120 laps. They only have a 60% fuel fill, which means these guys are going to have to save early and save often as much as possible as the field starts to roll off behind the Chevy Silverado pace truck, the official pace truck of iRacing. Under the formation lap, and the lights go out on the pace truck. Flagger giving them 1 to go. So let the games begin, gentlemen. Very excited for this one. I love anything that has to do with going fast and turning right. And this is a non-points race, I might add. So as the field works its way down the back straightaway, pace truck gets a little bit of pace to it. Crowder going to have the button as they roll into turn number 3. The only thing that's left to do is pull the belts tighter one more time, wipe the face visor. And Eldora Speedway, it's showtime! As the green flag comes out, Crowder pulls the trigger, and we are underway. Swavely already side by side with Locke for second place. And they are 4 wide down the back straightaway. I believe that's the 14 of Taylor, keeping his foot in it, keeping it wound up on that second lane. Yes, it is. Now, we've seen Taylor run up front a lot this season already, as Crowder continues to show the way currently, but he's got a lot of pressure. Here comes the 38 of Swavely on the high side, bangs the wall going into 3. They're 4 wide for a brief second. Laps in the books already. They are 3 wide for third. That's the 14 of Taylor, Massetti, and Thomas all slugging it out right now. And Taylor bangs the wall, and we are under caution. Let's go back and take a look and see what happened there. Oh! Who was that in turn 1? Ty Dixon got a piece of it. Looks like the 51 of Ray Rogers. Dixon just completely blew his braking point and got into the bedside of the 51 of Rogers. And unfortunately, Rogers goes around, and we are under caution number 1.
Yeah, it looks like he just couldn't get the tires going coming into that corner, and to get the nose turned down to stay out of them right there.
Well, the biggest trick with these things on dirt, you got to kind of, as much as I hate to say this, you kind of have to drive it almost like the late models that we've been broadcasting as of late on Sunday nights.
To be honest, sorry to cut you off there. I just took a onboard with Ray Rogers, and he was checked up by the 85 of Joseph Mahar, and that's what caused him first to slow down, and then Tyler Dixon got into him.
Yeah, he checked up and Dixon finished him off. I mean, it was kind of a just no real where to go. So we are under caution number 1 as the lights go out on the Chevy Silverado pace truck. And that's the one thing I do love. Oh no, lights are still on. I do stand corrected. And I wasn't live. So yes, the lights are off on the Chevy Silverado pace truck. So Crowder gonna have the button this time. Zach Taylor was able to get second place the last timing and scoring loop. Pace truck is in and green flag is out and we are back underway. As Crowder gets a great jump, Taylor trying to stay with him. Massetti and Locke in lock step right now as they are 3 wide. And we are back under caution. Looks like...
Thinking maybe the
I'm thinking it's the Fruity
Ryan
Pebbles
Thomas,
car.
number 32 is what I'm...
That's exactly who I've got. So...
Looks like he's coming into the corner low. Has to
Yep.
check up for the 94. And 28 just kind of taps him and around he goes. Like we were talking about the ice analogy. That's a slick. Any little bump, you're going around.
Oh, very much so. You know, because you got to remember, these trucks were never really designed to do this. These are basically the same style of chassis that you see on the modern Cup car. So there's not a lot of give to the suspension, shall we say.
You guys just have to have a lot of fun, slide around, and try to hold on to it and win a race. So, as you're saying, there's not a lot of suspension travel. They're stiff, they're sliding, they're all over the place. And like you said, if it goes to that dry or dry wet situation,
Dry slick.
like you're talking, correction, dry slick, like you're talking about, they'll probably be sliding even more all over the place.
Absolutely. As we see a cushion starting to form in the middle of the corner, so as you're going to see who's going to be the first one to dare to go up there and you know, put the right rear on that thing where there is going to be some traction, more than where you see the track start to get that shininess, which you can kind of see a little bit down low going into turn 3. It's starting to slick off on the low line already, so you know, look for the attitude to change as the pace truck is in one more time, and we are back under green, and great restart for the 24 Massetti as, wow, Zach Taylor shot out of a cannon.
Zachary Taylor going to slide right down in front of Crowder in the 78 car. Wow, he got an amazing restart.
And he used that cushion that's starting to form in 1 and 2, you know, to his advantage. Was able to keep it wound up in that second lane, and you can see the difference in the drive as Massetti got him going into the corner. Massetti may have found something down low, as he now has a nose out front coming off of 4, drag race to the line. Give this one to Massetti, and you're going to see that all night long as cars going into the wall as they are 3 and 4 wide behind this battle for the lead. There's the 38 of Swavely coming back on the 14 of Taylor. Taylor flirting with disaster way on that way high line now, as probably about a truck width, 2 truck widths up off that inside rub rail. That's where you're going to want to be right now. You know, there's still some grip down low, but you can see the 14 of Taylor, he kind of slid up, so that low lane is starting to give out. You know, because you've got so many trucks running on it, and you're seeing that second lane really start to come alive as Swavely comes off of 2 just blistering, carries a ton of momentum through 3 and 4. It's going to be a drag race to the line, and give that lap to Swavely for the lead. So, you know, that second lane already starting to pay Go ahead.
I was going to say, it seems like the momentum on the high side, no sooner than you said, it's really coming through. But I mean, as you say, Massetti might have found something down low, but it might take some more time to develop because Richard Swavely seems to really have it going on the high side there. It's almost up to showing a second interval, almost. It doesn't seem that way, but that's what I'm showing here on the timing.
Yeah, it's about 5 truck lengths as you've really got to be
the wall there.
Right, and you know that's the thing. You know, they jokingly call it the Larson line because whenever Kyle Larson drove a truck here, he ran that extreme high line and was banging the wall just about every lap. as Swavely bangs it coming off a 2 again. But you really have to be good on the throttle control to not just blaze the tires coming off the corner. If you're running that low line or even that second lane that's starting to form up, ooh, that could have gotten ugly. As Brad Lee just no control coming down the front straightaway and bangs the wall, rides the wall coming down the backstretch. Lee is not having the night he was hoping for in that My Little Pony number 47 tonight, as they are now almost 3 wide behind him. So Swavely, Taylor, Massetti, Lee, Johnson, your top 5, as the battle really heating up for 4th place.
Our pole sitter, Ashton Crowder, is falling back to 12th. I'm not sure if he's having any issues. I'm watching him right now, and he doesn't seem to have any damage. He's just falling back.
The thing is, when he set that pole time, he was able to really keep it wound up because they groomed the track and watered the hell out of it. So it was pretty much a fresh track state at that time. Now that they've got a few laps in this, you can really see that cushion starting to form, especially in 3 and 4 now. It's starting to push up closer and closer to that wall in 1 and 2. As these guys are just no quarter asked for, no quarter given. As Taylor's sitting in second, 2.5 seconds back, and your leader Swavely
going through that traffic.
Yeah, he's putting a 39 to Justin Miller down already.
Yeah.
Wow, he's making quick time in this track.
Yes, he is. Oh, we got trouble. We got one pointed the wrong way on a one-way street that looked like it may have been... Yes. As Johnson got together with, looks like the 57 of Brad Williams coming off a 2. Johnson had to chase it down the hill. And at the same time, Williams was chasing it up the hill. So it's basic physics, folks. 2 solid objects cannot occupy the same portion of the space-time continuum at the same time. And you see what happens there. So Johnson, unfortunately, going to be relegated to the tail of the field. And I am going to go out on a limb here and say that there are, and last I knew, there were no lucky dogs on dirt. So Miller's in trouble. But Swavely in that Miller Genuine Draft, Miller Light, number 38 Chevy Silverado, has definitely found something here. And that was the last thing he wanted to see, as, yes, they are giving Miller a wave around to put him back on the lead lap. So 18 trucks still running in this one. Bell and Holtzcroft did not take time. They did not take the green. They already put it on the hauler. Not having a good time, either one of those guys. So the lights go out in Georgia. Rosberg, Ohio. No, lights are getting ready to go out. Let's put it that way. And there they go.
Green.
And green. Helps if I'm
Swavely's
live.
off to a good lead here again.
And Brad Lee with a restart. Good grief. They are 3 wide. It's Lee on the high side, Williams on the low side. Thomas got stuck in the middle, and
race looks to be for second right now, as Richard Swavely's already put a half a second on everybody, about 3 car lengths on the second row there.
Absolutely, Swavely really keeping it wound up on that second lane, and it looks like Brad Lee in that My Little Pony number 47 following him. Thomas is picking up the pace too. He's seeing what's working for Swavely, and unfortunately, the thing is, they're going to be able to stay with him, but getting around him is a different story, as we are back under caution.
I think it's the 55 this time of
And
Brad
that's exactly
Ebel.
who it is. As Ebel got into it with 24, got into it with the 79, he got into it with the 79, checked up a little bit, chased it down the hill. The 24 was there, comes back up, and just unfortunately was not able to regain control of that ride. So,
He was coming in all squirrely, all sorts of squirrely before that.
yeah, and you can kind of see going into 1 and going into 3, there's a little bit of shine, and you've got to be real careful not to get your tires into that because you're just along for the ride at that point. You know, these guys are going to be chasing these trucks all night long. You know, if they if they don't pay attention to what the track's doing. So 30 laps in the books. Swavely shows the way. Bradley sits in second. Brad Williams in third. Ryan Thomas in fourth. Matt Rogers rounding out your top 5. David Moore, Chris Johnson, Philip Locke, and Clint Leatherwood, and Dylan Hastings up into the top 10 as the lights go out on the Chevy Silverado pace truck, the official pace truck of iRacing. As they work down the back straightaway here at Eldora Speedway, one of the most hallowed grounds in all of dirt racing. Now, Kevin, I would like to point out you and I are going to be here Sunday for the final Dirt Championship Esports Pro Late Model race. So get used to the cameras here because you're going to be running them on Sunday too, as we are back underway.
Ooh, Bradley in the wall there. Had a great restart. He's hanging with them on the high side, though.
And Swavely knows he's there, and he's not able to go up because he knows that he's seeing that Lee is there in his mirror. So Swavely's got to take a little bit different line than he's been taking.
Oh, we got the 57 around.
Oh, 57 is around.
It's going to be fun to see how they score this one because Lee was on a charge. Didn't have the nose out front before the caution came out.
I'm showing, I believe Bradley is the new leader.
And Bradley is the new leader. So that second lane's starting to pay dividends. Now, the one thing I've noticed is I haven't seen the leader use lane choice yet.
Yeah, you would think you would take
especially
top side here, right?
Right. I mean, with the way these guys have been able to really make it happen in that high line, up on the cushion, you would think that the leader would elect to take the outside starting spot, especially considering that you're not allowed to pass to the inside before the start-finish line. It kind of makes sense if lane choice is allowed, take that outside lane and just let it eat going into 1. Now, the thing these guys are really struggling with, and a lot of these guys are struggling with, I should say, is you really have to set the brake bias up more towards the rear, because these trucks are not meant to really turn on dirt. So what you've got to do is you've got to, throw the truck in, stab the brakes, have it lock the rears up, get the slide initiated, and then catch it. And you can see that that's what Lee's doing, that's what Swavely's doing, that's what David Moore has been doing, that's what Ryan Thomas is doing, that's what Matt Rogers is doing, and it's paying dividends for these guys. That's why they're moving forward, and the guys that are pavement specialists are moving back. I mean, take a look at Zach Taylor. He's already dropped to 17th. Brad Williams has dropped to 18th as we're back under green.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, hang on to her. And Lee did not get the restart he needed that time as Swavely able to make it happen on that second lane. And that's what we were talking about. That inside line is starting to slick off as there's 3 wide for third right now. Almost
Absolutely.
4 wide.
I almost thought maybe the inside line you could get going faster, but it definitely seems to be the opposite of that at this time. Wow, 4 wide. Bradley on the top. Move Bradley back to third.
Just letting it eat. So Swavely back to the point. Ryan Thomas in the Fruity Pebbles, number 32, sits in second. Different paint schemes than we're used to seeing for some of these guys tonight. So, just be mindful of that, folks. Lee just blasted
the wall again.
Absolutely. As Lee's starting to struggle, he may have knocked the Pander bar out of that thing. And you can really see that just below the cushion, you see that. Oh, there it goes. We're back under caution, and we've got to stack up in turn 2. I believe that was Matt Rogers. Yes, it was.
Oof. That's a big hit, too. And he gets drilled by the 28. He collects a 74 as well.
Absolutely. Oh, good grief. Not what you want to see. And then gets the 51 just nowhere to go. Had it locked down and just slid in. A lot of damage on the 96 tonight. So not the night he was hoping for at all. So 43 laps in the books now, as Swavely back up onto the point. The 51 of Ray Rogers getting trapped behind the pace truck. Not sure if he's going to get the wave around, if he's going to have to drop to the tail end. We're about to find out. But, you got to wonder, is Swavely going to take lane choice this time? That inside lane has not been able to get the good restart all night long. So if lane choice is available, as the lights go out on the Chevy Silverado pace truck, there goes the 51 of Rogers to tag onto the tail end of the field. And there it is. Ryan Thomas finally electing to take that outside lane on the restart. He's putting Swavely down in the slick stuff. So, no, I'm sorry. Thomas is taking the inside. He got Swavely to the line. So this is going to get interesting. We're about to see whether or not, a leader can get the restart he needs. And there he goes. Gets a great jump and just kind of feathers it. But you see Swavely able to just let it eat on that second lane and just power move around the high side. And that's the 94, Phil Locke eating the wall coming off a 2. And just like that, Swavely back to the point using that high side.
That high side is just so much faster over the course of 2 or 3 laps, it looks like. Looks like for a lap you can keep it down low, but once you get that high side momentum, you just don't have a chance.
We're back under caution. Trouble in 2. Justin Miller? No, the 85.
85, Joseph Mahar, excuse me.
Yeah, Joe Mahar not having the night he was hoping for. As it happened in front of him. The 57 was the first one to lose it there, and that's Brad Williams. So, yeah, Williams got into that slick stuff. The back end washed down. He chased it down the hill. Unfortunately, Mahar was there. Mahar just blasts him. And then Mahar spins it coming off the corner because, he kind of lost all control and there was nowhere to go. So, now remember, folks, this is just a fun run. This is just something they did just to have a good time. So we do have a pretty short field tonight, as Swavely, no. Not sure exactly what's going on here. I believe Swavely should be your race leader because he had about a 4 truck length lead on Ryan Thomas when the caution came out, and it looks like Swavely is going to elect to take that outside starting spot. Lights are out on the Chevy Silverado pace truck. The field worked its way through the 3-4 complex. And pace truck is in. Swavely pulls the trigger, and we are back underway. And you can see that Thomas immediately jumping up to that outside line. There goes Brad Lee.
Oh!
Dives it to the inside, eats the wall, and we are back under caution. Lee just annihilated the inside wall there. Came up the track. The 29 nowhere to go. That's Clint Leatherwood in the Miller Lite 29 Ford, nowhere to go. He gets into it with the 14 of Taylor. Taylor comes down in front of the 55, and unfortunately, uh, you know, Brad Ebel nowhere to go. Neither same thing goes for the 24 Massetti. Neither one of those guys anywhere to go, and a lot of damage on the 55 now, as that truck looks like it's been through a war already. So 51 laps in the books. Swavely showing the lead, and he just showed that lane choice is effective as he goes to that outside starting spot. As Ryan Thomas wasted no time. As soon as he got the clear behind him, he jumped up there too to try to keep pace. Now, John, I mean, you've driven the trucks before. These are not easy on a paved short track. Let alone when you're trying to drive in the mud here at Eldora.
And like you said earlier, basically 2 to 3 grooves depending how slick it is per area, whether you're in the down low in the slick stuff or up in the cushion like you were talking about, and catch it at a wrong spot, make the turn in the wrong way, a little too much brake or not enough, and you're going around.
Absolutely. As the green flag comes back out, Swavely pulls the trigger, and Thomas wastes no time changing lanes. As soon as he gets clear of the start-finish line, jumps right up onto that cushion. Now you can see just below that cushion, it's starting to get real slick real quick.
Yeah, it absolutely looks like that cushion you were talking about starting to go away as people tend to move up. And if Ryan doesn't move up right away, he might lose pace with Swavely, but it seems like these two they seem to have it. They've got this track figured out.
Absolutely, as they are 3 and 4 wide behind him for a moment, getting it sorted out. And you've got to feel for Brad Lee, as he may have knocked the handling out of that truck right now as he was running up towards the front. Here comes Chris Johnson in the 74, as he's making a run on the low lane where not a lot of people have been running tonight. So Johnson trying to make it happen right now, as he's side by side with the 74 of 79 of Tyler Dixon. Dixon finally getting the clear, and here comes Phil Locke in the 94. Phil gets a little bit better of a run. They are still side by side, and that is your battle for 4th place. Johnson has it. Locke wants it. Locke running that ultra low lane, gets a great drive off of 4, pulls alongside coming down the front stretch. And in 3 and 4, it seems to be there. In 1 and 2, not so much. Swavely, Thomas, Dixon, Johnson, Locke, your top 5. As Lee gets around Locke on the high side, making that top line dance right now. Chases it down the hill a little bit, coming off the corner, and sets sail on trying to reel in Chris Johnson. As Johnson all over the tailgate of Ty Dixon right now, trying to get back on the podium. And Swavely and Thomas is just checked out. They are 2 seconds to the good right now. From Thomas to Dixon, 2nd to 3rd, 2 seconds. As the battle for 3rd really heating up now, as Phil Lee trying to get a 2 for coming off of turn number 4. Pulls alongside down the front stretch. Not going to make it happen through 1 and 2. Running that ultra low line. Dancing with the devil with that inside rub rail, though.
Talk about a valiant effort for Brad Lee, though. In the wall, in the lead, in the back to the front. He's definitely wheeling that truck around here.
Absolutely. As now Dixon and Johnson throwing hand grenades at each other, coming through 1 and 2.
And
Johnson able to keep it wound up. Yeah, and Brad Lee back into the wall. Brand new paint scheme, and you kind of got a feel for the guy that painted that truck, because he's going to have to paint another one before next week's race.
Come on, you don't paint a truck going into a dirt race expecting it to stay clean now, do you?
Why not?
It's dirt?
True
It gets
story.
muddy?
True story. As Lee up into 4th, as Phil Locke slips back. That's his teammate. Yes, it is. That was Ashton Crowder dropping back now. Crowder dropping like a stone, not able to get that truck where he wants it put. So Swavely has pulled a gap now on Thomas. Almost a full second to the good that Miller Light number 38 Chevy Silverado is just set sail. As Thomas bangs the wall coming off a 2. Now, the thing is with the trucks, but later on in the run, it's not uncommon to see them put that right rear bedside into the retaining wall and just let it eat. Unfortunately, you know, that's the quick lane, and you're flirting with disaster.
Ryan Thomas out of shape there.
Absolutely, he caught a little too much of the wall as he goes down towards the inside rubber this time. They come up on lap traffic again. That looks like
39.
Justin Miller. As Miller gives way, goes up into the wall, and almost gets into the leader, Swavely. As he lets Swavely go by, Thomas
dives down low.
Thomas is able to close in greatly. So Miller not having the night he was hoping for.
Thomas taps the wall again. It seems like there's just two extremes with a couple of these guys, either ultra low or right up on the wall.
And it looks like the that could have been Ty Dixon.
I think it was Clint Leatherwood.
I see Ty Dixon.
It was Ty Dixon. Clint Leatherwood has already put it on the hauler.
I see.
So, you know, Dixon goes into 1 and almost gets into the 47. Swaps ends, tries to avoid Brad Lee, locks it down, and we are just past the halfway mark. And that's going to put that's the break Justin Miller needed. That's going to put him back on the lead lap. So that's a good sign for Miller. But the big question here, guys, does anybody have anything for Swavely? You know, we've seen him have rough ones all season long so far, and it's good to see him finally having the run that bespokes his talent.
Absolutely.
I mean, a little bit of damage on the right rear, but other than that.
Let's touch on our now third place car. Ashton Crowder seems to be back up front in the mix, and he looks to have a relatively clean truck, not a car. Where did he come from? He's back up there with a clean truck.
A little bit of damage on the right front, but definitely nothing out of the ordinary here at Eldora. But yeah, your pole sitter, Ashton Crowder, back up on the podium so far. Let's see if he can keep going with that march forward as we are back underway, and everybody kind of tiptoeing right now. They know how slick this track is, and you can really see the shine going into 1 and into 3.
Swavely tapped the wall a little bit, might give Ryan Thomas right on his rear bumper.
Thomas right there. Thomas up on that preferred lane, so is Crowder, as Swavely goes low and then slides back up, seeing if a slide job would work, and yes, it does, as he continues to show the way. Swavely, Thomas, Crowder, Locke, Johnson, your top 5, as that
Crowder
battle,
trying to make that low line work.
Crowder,
look at him slide up in front of Ryan Thomas.
He was looking for a twofer, got 1 spot away, going to try it again in 1 and 2,
Ryan
not
Thomas
able to make it happen. He's probably going to lose a spot there.
I don't know, he's hanging real well down there.
Tries it again, not close enough to make it happen that time. Finds something, shot out of a cannon, and just like that, Ashton Crowder, your pole sitter, back up to the point.
And it looks like he did that slide job and he's coming back up. It got Swavely just a little bit out of his comfort zone, and he overcorrected. Ooh, Ryan Thomas right into Swavely.
That's going to bring out a caution.
Oh, man.
That's not what you want to see ever.
No, not by the two guys battling it out for the lead.
Then the 14 was pointing the wrong way on a one-way street there for a second or so. But you know, that's what we were talking about. You could see it going into 3. If we can get the guys in the truck to go to camera 3, you can see that Thomas, he got into that slick stuff. And the truck just slid up, and unfortunately for him, Swavely was there. And there's our second physics lesson of the night, folks. And that's what happened to the 14. He got collected as Swavely tried to get off of Thomas and went down, and unfortunately Zach Taylor nowhere to go. So
That 14 truck's all banged up at this point.
things looks like it's been through a war. But the one truck that doesn't look like it's been through a war is the 78, the simracingmerch.com last week's winner, Ashton Crowder, showing that he can do it on pavement and dirt. So hats off to you, sir.
Do you think maybe he was just kind of waiting around there in the back?
Probably. It looks like he was just kind of hanging back, just making sure that he had a clean truck towards the end here. As the lights are out on the Chevy Silverado pace truck, field works its way out of the 3-4 complex. Crowder pulls the trigger, gets a great jump, brings Massetti with him, and here comes Taylor. 3 wide for a second there. They're 3 wide for 5th. As Taylor gets into the slick stuff, goes up high. Crowder showing the way. Massetti sits in second. Sorry, that's Locke up into second.
Swavely back up to 5th, trying to get back up front.
Swavely's pissed.
I would be too.
Oh, hang on to her son.
Wow, what a save.
Absolutely. As Swavely almost got help going around, using a line that he hasn't used most of the night, so he's trying to make some headway the hard way right now.
Ashton Crowder right now starting to pull away for second place. 94 of Phil Locke, almost about a second and a quarter at this time. Using that high lane.
Taylor throws a supply job, gets into Massetti. That's going to cost the two of them a couple of spots here, as there goes Chris Johnson around both of them on the high side. Oh, Massetti still not under control. He's riding the wall now. Fighting that truck every inch of the way as Brad Williams pulls alongside of Taylor, trying to make something happen. Meanwhile, Crowder, almost 2 seconds to the good as he puts the 85 another lap down. No, sorry, that's Mahar going a lap down for the second time after getting a lap back under the last caution. Philip Locke is 2 seconds back, and he's got a 2.5 second gap between him and Chris Johnson, who sits in third.
Yeah, he was hanging back, I'd have to say so. He is moving.
Crowder was saving that truck.
That has
without
to be.
a doubt.
He's, I don't want to say so much faster, but I mean, almost a 2.5 second lead now over Phil Locke.
Absolutely. It's Swavely still fighting his way through traffic. Driving angry, gets by Brad Williams. Williams eats the wall as Thomas in lockstep with him as well. Now, those two had to go to the tail end of the field for bringing out the last caution, and they've already made their way back up into 6th and 7th, respectively. So Crowder, Locke, Johnson, Massetti, Taylor, Swavely, Thomas, Williams, Dixon, and Dylan Hastings rounding out your top 10. The battle right now is for 4th.
Ooh, 14 and
help.
2 people touching up high as well.
He keeps it straight and we stay green. So there was a battle for 4th. Not so much anymore. As the battle now is for 6th between Thomas and Williams, the 32 and the 57. And Williams just throws it into 3, hoping to find something down low. Not going to make it happen. Swavely's up into 5th. Thomas is up into 6th. Those guys are still on the move. But they are running out of time quickly as we are closing in on 30 to go. Ashton Crowder shows the way, and that's just an unbelievable lead. Almost the full length of the back straightaway for Crowder.
He's about to pull a 4-second lead on Phil Lock. He's consistently putting lap times under the 20-second mark at this time. This late into the race, he absolutely saved that truck.
Absolutely, you got to give Phil Lock credit because he's doing everything he can to try to stay with him, and it's not the most comfortable feeling in the world running that close to the outside retaining wall. So the guys that aren't used to doing that, hats off to every one of you, because it's the most unnerving feeling in the world the first couple of times you do it.
I don't even enjoy doing that on pavement, let alone dirt.
Oh yeah, IRP, Irwindale, tracks like that where you need to run, rim ride the entire track. But Ashton Crowder showing that he can get it done on pavement and on dirt. Just unbelievable right now.
And I mean, I don't want to knock on Phil Lock or Chris Johnson. These guys are both really fast as well. They're consistently running a 20.05, 20.09, 20.03. They're close, but Ashton just doesn't skip a beat.
Somebody went into the wall.
Everybody's been into the wall. It's Eldora. It wouldn't be Eldora if somebody didn't go into the wall.
We were just on a close camera angle, so it was quite loud. It looked more severe than it was.
Zach Taylor trying to make a battle of it for fifth right now. As Ryan Thomas has it, Swavely wants it, Taylor wants it. So Thomas has gotten around Swavely, and he's running out of time quickly to get that Fruity Pebbles truck back onto the podium, as there's a 5-second gap between himself and third place Chris Johnson, and he's got Trevor Massetti between them. Crowder just putting on a clinic right now, though. And the field's starting to get more strung out than a methadone clinic, as there's not a lot of battling going on, but what there is, it's amazing. Like for fifth place right now, or sixth place right now, between Thomas and Taylor, or sorry, Swavely and Taylor, and we are back under caution.
That's exactly what Ryan Thomas and Swavely needed right there.
Oh! Ty Dixon nowhere to go. Or no, I'm sorry, it was Ty Dixon. Got it all wrong coming off a 2. Tried to crank the power down and it just swapped ends on him. And then...
Yeah, it looks like when he was trying to get up and to go again, Jesse Pahar had nowhere to go.
Yeah, the 85 just blasts him in the door. And you can see a lot of damage on the iRacing 79 of Dixon. So definitely not the night he was hoping for. Qualified 9th, currently was running in 11th before that. But hats off to these guys, because you take a look at your starting grid. Crowder set fast time in qualifying, currently leading this piece. Phil Lock started outside row number 1, currently sits in second, so no real big question marks there. Chris Johnson is up 5 spots, started 8th. Trevor Massetti is up 3 spots. 3 spots. He started in 7th. And Ryan Thomas, currently your biggest mover, started 10th, currently sits in 5th. So,
I mean, that caution's exactly what him and Swavely needed. They needed to close that gap. They were almost 15 seconds behind our leader of Ashton Crowder.
Absolutely. As lights are out on the Chevy Silverado pace truck, the field worked its way through the 3-4 complex. Pace truck is in, and Crowder wastes no time pulling the trigger, and we are back underway. And here comes Massetti. Chris Johnson getting a restart that he needed to. Massetti bangs the wall coming off a 2, keeps it wound up a little bit, and hang on to her. That was 32 of Thomas getting rear-ended by Swavely. Yikes!
They
Brad
beating and
Lee,
banging on each other back there.
they are beating and banging. Brad Lee almost just killed everybody trying to chase that truck up the hill coming off of 4.
Ooh, the 14 turned into Ryan Thomas. They held on to it.
As these guys are, they know it's the closing laps. We are inside 20 to go. It's go time. As
You've got a
I
match
just
battle.
gone wrong.
Oh, wow.
And we
32
are under
around,
caution.
14 in the wall.
How is that not a caution?
We're on
Wow.
dirt. They're still
Taylor.
going straight.
Taylor just blasted him. And Taylor lost a couple spots. It's Brad Williams that he's getting around this time. Meanwhile, Crowder's starting to stretch his legs again. Almost a full second to the good, about 7 truck lengths. And now we're back under caution. Oh, there's a 55 Brad Ebel getting it wrong, trying to go pit side.
It's another one of those famous Warzone trucks. Ouch.
Yeah, and just
Yeah,
blast the tire barriers.
I think he's stuck.
Oh, let's go back and take a look at what happened with Brad Lee as well. It looks like he was trying to avoid the mess. Chased it up the hill, got into the slick stuff, and unfortunately Swavely was there. Swavely goes around and gets just annihilated by Dylan Hastings. Hastings
Wow,
absolutely
everybody.
nowhere to go. Oh, no, you don't want to see that. Swavely is smoking.
Yeah, he's smoking a lot. Also, looks like the looks like the 41 car smoking as well.
And the 85 was
Dylan.
smoking. The 85 was smoking and parked in pit lane earlier last lap.
And Hastings has a little bit of smoke coming out. He's already pit side. So,
Oh man. Well, we knew this was going to be rough.
oh yeah. Can't have t-shirts made up. I survived Eldora.
That seems to fit the description.
Absolutely.
That
His
sounds
pace
like the
truck
best
is
trophy.
in. Locke needs a restart right now. Crowder goes. Massetti goes with him. And here comes Taylor again on the low side. They're almost 3 wide per second.
Man, they're
continues-
scraping that outside wall.
Yes, they are. That is the notorious Larson line where you just screw the paint on the right side of the truck. Let's try to put this thing on the podium.
And
And
Phil
Crowder-
Crowder did everything he can to stay with Crowder.
And we got one around, but we stay green. As Locke bangs the wall. I'm sorry, that was Taylor banging the wall. Going up into 3rd. Chris Johnson relegated back to 4th. Locke trying to find grip anywhere he can, using the high line, using the low line. And Taylor not able to get that truck to turn. He has definitely knocked the handling out of that thing. But he is struggling through 3 and 4, and he bangs the wall in 1 and 2 again.
He is just driving
Oh!
that truck.
And
That's all he's
that's
doing.
going to be that battle for 5th between Williams, Thomas, and Lee just got ugly.
I thought I saw someone go into the wall back there.
Yeah, that got ugly quickly as Locke has closed in on Crowder as Crowder eats the wall coming through 3 and 4. So battle for the lead starting to heat up. Locke using up that truck as we are coming into the closing laps. It's going to be 6 to go this coming time across the stripe. Crowder shows the way. Locke wants it. Taylor within striking distance. Just got to keep it off the wall, but he's having trouble doing that all night long. Six
like
laps to go. Crowder
Crowder
shows the
attacks
way.
the wall.
Crowder taps the wall. It's Locke. Throws it down low. Looking for grip anywhere he can. Slides up. Bangs the cushion off of 4. Not what he was hoping for on that lap, as Crowder now 7 car lengths to the good, truck lengths, sorry, as Locke just starting to struggle now, but the 3 of these guys have started to pull out a full 2 seconds over 4th place Chris Johnson, and this field is strung out.
31 seconds separates the leader to 9th.
That's insane. That's actually a lap and a half.
Yeah.
At a 19-second lap, that's basically a lap and a half.
8th is 17 seconds behind. That's Justin Miller.
Here's the impressive part. Ashton Crowder is still putting in lap times that would have put him on the pole.
Yeah, lap after lap after lap, whether he hits the wall or not. I haven't seen that thing go over 20 seconds. Now let's give Phil Locke some credit. He's picked it up. He's almost keeping pace with Crowder. Almost.
Thing is, Phil Locke went 19.729 in qualifying to start outside row number 1. Phil Locke's last lap was a 19.7 flat. And another 19.7 for Crowder, as white flag is in the air. All he's got to do is keep it clean for another quarter of a mile. Into 3, bangs the wall. Checkered flag is in the air, coming off at turn number 4. There's your winner, Ashton Crowder.
He spins it coming to the line.
I can't say I blame him.
Yeah, I would.
Phil Locke coming home in second. Zach Taylor in third. What? Just a clinic. That's the only way you can describe what Crowder just did. So
yeah, dropped to the back, saved his truck, methodically came through the field, and just checked out.
Absolutely.
Give credit to Phil Locke, though. He's given it everything he had at the end there.
Oh yeah,
Locke.
For a while there was in lockstep with Crowder. No pun intended, folks. But Crowder just was on another planet. As we are going to reach out to our race winner, quick time award winner, and race winner, driver of the 79 simracingmerch.com Chevy Silverado. 2 in a row for you, sir. Ashton Crowder, congratulations on the win here at the Big E.
Thank you. Yeah, that was pretty stressful there for a while. I didn't realize it, but we didn't have. Well, I guess we would have had enough fuel to make it to the end without saving, but yeah, it was going to be close, so decided to take the first 60 laps of the race, first half of it, and just save a ton. I was going like 55 miles per hour, just coasting, putting the clutch in, everything, doing everything I could to get that done, and that put us in a pretty compromising position, as you could imagine. Got way back in the pack, and got a decently long run there, thankfully, and lucky for me, that was the time that I chose to go, and our tires were so good. They were so cool from not running more than a 21-second lap time. We could just plow through the field, so yeah, it worked out pretty good.
Well, the thing is the quick line tonight seemed to be up near the wall, and that's not someplace you guys normally would run, especially if this was a pavement track. I think I can think of 2 tracks off the top of my head, and that's about it, that you would normally run that close to the outside retaining wall to get the quick time around this place.
Mm-hmm.
How unnerving is that the first couple of times you attempt it?
Well, yeah, that's it's actually something that I struggle with quite a bit. I was running the inside wall trying to save fuel the whole time, and then about lap 55, starting to get to halfway, I was like, well, I need to start going here pretty soon because it's going to be like a long run here. So instead of going to the halfway mark I decided to start going up early and just feel my way around the top for a couple laps and figure out where the moisture was and how to hit the loose stuff properly so we could really get some drive. And just something you have to build. I have to build myself up to it. Honestly, I can't. I'm not one of those that can just go up to it and be comfortable. Sadly, I wish I was, but it takes me a few laps, like I said, and yeah. Thankfully, I didn't hit it too hard. I hit it like 3 times tonight, really hard, but it wasn't too bad.
Now
Thankfully for
let me
us.
ask this dumb question. We knew the top line was going to be the fast way around this place. Even early on in the race, it was the faster of the two lanes that were appearing. Was it surprising that none of the leaders, except for, I believe, Thomas did it once, took the outside lane on the restarts?
Um. Well, for me, I kept wanting to choose the outside lane, but I kept forgetting. Admittedly, I kept forgetting to call it out. So I basically just, since I forgot, I had to start from the bottom anyways. But I mean, starting from the top doesn't really give you too big of an advantage because a lot of the times you get like to push you up on dirt tracks if you run the outside or if you restart on the outside lane. So I actually end up getting in rubber, and that doesn't help you at all in iRacing. It's just wheel spin city, honestly. So man, it's something you have to kind of think about. If you would start on the top, you usually have to kind of get towards the wall, and that's just really compromising.
Absolutely. Well, Phil, we go from one of the most technically demanding tracks on the schedule, um, non-points tonight at Eldora. To next week, we go to Hotlanta and the mile and a half quad oval there. Your thoughts coming off of the podium you had at Vegas, and that was a mile and a half. Your thoughts going to Atlanta next week?
We're just well, I don't actually know if I'll be racing that. We'll have to see. My schedule is kind of conflicted. Got the Pro Series coming up. Thankfully, I'll be able to run that. I got that email today, so that was a huge relief. And we got testing on Tuesdays as well. Usually usually around 7. So that stuff if the testing can get done before the races, then I'll for sure come in here and try not to burn my stuff off too hard. But yeah, we'll just have to see with that. I'd love to come race for sure. It's really fun. I've been trying to find a good truck league actually for my friend Alex, and it seems like a pretty good one.
Absolutely. You
Yeah.
guys put on a great show every week so far. Before we let you go, is there anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank. I gotta say this one first because I was told to thank them and I always forget. So simracingmerch.com. Yeah. Um, everybody at Elliott Sadler Esports for let me be a part of their team this year, or well this winter now. Let's see. All the people watching at home, the fans, my grandmother, grandfather, they're watching, I think. Huge shout out actually to Ryan Lucia and Dylan Duvall. They're gonna let me run Ryan Lucia's 2016 Pro car, which he won like 6 out of the 8 races, and so hopefully I can take that car and win 6 out of, well, I guess 6 out of 6 this season because I think we're only running 6. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, you guys were putting on the broadcast league. I don't remember who runs the league.
Dylan Hastings.
Dylan Hastings, thank you. That's my ignorance showing up. And all the what Kyle Busch says, all the haters and all that. And yeah, Busch.
Well, Ashton, you definitely put on a clinic on how to get around Eldora in a truck tonight. Hopefully we'll see you next week in Atlanta.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That was Ashton Crowder, your winner tonight. As we now reach out to the driver of the iRacing.com number 94 Chevy Silverado, the man who started outside row number 1 and for a while had quick time, Phil Locke. Phil, not the finish you were hoping for, but all things considered, you can't be too disappointed being able to put it on a podium at a difficult track like Eldora.
No, I'm very, very happy with that finish. Didn't have anything for Ashton there at the end. He was just in a league of his own.
Well, I mean, we saw it all night long. That outside lane was really paying dividends, but towards the end there, we saw you going high, going low, going in the middle, going anywhere you could to try to find some grip. How slick did it get out there?
It got pretty slick. If you didn't hit it just right on the top, you were either going to bounce it off the wall or you're going to get real, real squirrely down in the black below. So you had to be right on that line if you wanted to run the top well.
Absolutely. Now you dodged a bullet per se when the 32 of Williams and Thomas got into it. Your thoughts? What was going through your head when that happened right in front of you?
I kind of saw the car sliding up. I thought that they were going to get together, so I just backed out of it, got on the brake, and tried to turn it down low. I run a lot of dirt, so this is kind of my wheelhouse. I figured this was going to be my best finish all season coming into it. So I kind of knew where to expect them to go whenever they started getting together.
Well, you definitely showed that you have a prowess for dirt racing tonight. Your thoughts as we switch gears and next week go to Hot Atlanta and the mile and a half quad oval there.
It's going to be interesting for me. I just bought the track a couple days ago, so I haven't turned a lap on it yet.
Well, you still have 7 days to get it sorted out. But, again, congratulations on the podium. Is there anybody you want to thank before we let you go?
I want to thank the guys at JD Motorsports for giving me a chance to drive with them here. Subbing in right now, Ryan McDuffie, Chris Johnson, and Jonathan Bell. They've been very, very helpful getting me up to speed here on the asphalt. Like I said, I'm normally a dirt guy, and I'm kind of learning as I go here in this series.
Well, Phil, again, congratulations on the podium. We're looking forward to seeing what you can do next week at Atlanta.
All right, thank you.
All right, so that was our second place finisher, Phil Locke. And John, I believe you've got our third place finisher, Zach Taylor, with you now.
What a drive, Zachary Taylor. You had to fight a lot of adversity to get finished third. How do you feel about that?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you call it adversity. I just call it regular Eldora racing. It was a hard drive, long, sweaty one. Felt like I've just been to the gym for 7 hours, and
I'd absolutely believe that.
I'm excited to go to Hot Atlanta next week. Winningest track on iRacing, 52 iRacing wins there. So hopefully bring home the win next week.
That's always great to look forward to. I mean, I couldn't stop talking about you, man. I'd see you get hit, be in the wall, but I mean, you were just driving. You were driving that banged up truck, and props to you. You did an outstanding job.
Yeah, I had the knuckles up, white knuckle racing, kind of like Earnhardt used to do. Felt like a couple times there at the end, I couldn't see anything through my windshield. Thought, if this was real life, I definitely had been pulling an Earnhardt outside the window there. Man, it was impossible to see at the end of the race. Beginning of the race, it was fuel saving. Because, here on iRacing, they don't give us the ability to take fuel on dirt tracks. So, 120 lap race, and you only got 109 laps to start the race. You ain't going to have enough to finish. I don't know how he made it, but praise the Lord we did.
Yeah, see, that was news to me. I had no idea you couldn't take fuel on a dirt track. So I didn't know y'all would even make it either. But it seems like most of y'all did. Y'all put on a great show. A lot of cautions, but like you said, that's good old-fashioned dirt track racing.
Yeah, for sure. I actually wouldn't have made it if it wasn't for my good old teammate Ashton Crowder over there. He helped me a lot tonight with the fuel strategy and just figuring out what line to run. If it wasn't for him, I doubt I would have finished in the top 10 tonight. So he just drove. I feel like he drove me and Trevor to be better tonight. It was definitely the most fun I've ever had in a race. and look forward to next week.
Absolutely. So that being said, do you have any shout outs or anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, for sure. SimRacingMerge.com. They've came onto the team here uh, in the past. Normally I say recently, but it's not really been recent. I mean, we've just kind of built a relationship with them, and they're now the supplier of official Hammer Down Motorsports shirts. I'm sure that we'll have an Ashton Crowder shirt here after tonight for the Dirt Derby winner. I got to talk to him about that, but we're looking forward to growing that relationship a lot, and look for and hope that that can build. Got to thank Mark Virus, team owner over at Hammer Down, Thomas Light, Kendall Levron, those two admins over there. Chuck Mobley, sadly he wasn't here tonight. Kind of missed him being here. Got to thank Ashton for coming on for this race. I mean, that was awesome having him in here. Trevor for being a sub for Kendall tonight, as usual. And, just y'all for putting on the broadcast, Dylan for putting on the league. I think we've got something big here. I look forward to the future, and we'll go on to Atlanta.
Absolutely. Good luck to you then, and great job racing tonight.
Thank you, sir. You too.
So that was our third place finisher, Zach Taylor. And John, I'm going to put you on the spot here real quick because this was your first dirt race. Thoughts coming out of Eldora?
I've got a lot to learn. I learned a lot watching the race, but I'm going to have to get in a truck and start making some laps. That's going to be the best way for me to learn, so I could start help try to explain things. But I learned a lot from you. Learned a lot from these drivers. I learned to watching race winner Ashton Crowder as well. It was a lot of fun. It was action packed. It was little stints because we had a lot of cautions, but there was always action everywhere on the track. First for second, a battle for 7th or 8th. It was a lot of fun. It was fast paced. It doesn't get spread out super fast like you see in your asphalt tracks. It's a unique show, and it's a lot of fun to watch when you bring pavement cars to a dirt track.
Absolutely. As Kevin, I'm going to bring you up now. This was your first trip to Rossburg, Ohio with us. We are going to be back here on Sunday for the series finale of the Dirt Championship Esports Pro Late Model Division. Your thoughts, your first trip to Eldora?
Oh, well, just echoing Jonathan there. I had a great time. I'm similar. I've got a bit to learn about dirt, but watching the trucks, which I am somewhat familiar with, going around was just fantastic.
Well, I'll give you both a little bit of a hint. If you're going to try to drive this thing around here, dial as much rear brake bias as you can get the thing to dial in, and just let it eat. You're going to want to trail brake, kind of like Kevin when you do GT car racing at some of the faster tracks like Monza. You're definitely going to want to trail brake going into the corner to get the car to take or truck to take a bite, and then just throttle control off, because once you get into the slick stuff, you're along for the ride.
Awesome.
So that is going to do it for us tonight. Let's go quick rundown of our finishing order. Ashton Crowder putting on a clinic tonight, 2.5 seconds to the good over second place, Phil Locke. Zach Taylor surviving the carnage to come home in third. Chris Johnson hanging on for fourth. Ryan Thomas rebounding for fifth. Also your biggest mover, tied with Brad Lee, who Thomas started 10th, Lee started 11th. They finished 5th and 6th respectively. So biggest mover award goes to them tonight. Brad Williams coming home in 7th. Last truck on the lead lap. Justin Miller in 8th. Ty Dixon in 9th. Joe Mahar in 10th. Trevor Mercetti hanging on for 11th. Rich Swavely in 12th. 13th going to Dylan Hastings. Brad Ebel in 14th. Clint Leatherwood not having the night he was hoping for, coming home in 15th. Ray Rogers in 16th. David Moore in 17th. And Matt Rogers, the last truck to actually take the green flag, coming home in 18th. John Bell and Daniel Holtzcroft did not take the green. So that is going to do it for us tonight. Be sure to join us tomorrow night for the Sim Racers Edge. As they go to the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course for some IndyCar racing. For Mr. Kevin Conyu, for Mr. John Leach, this is Tony Trapasso saying, remember, folks, as you walk down the road of life, don't play in traffic.